Hey, how you doing? I'm glad you reached out to me. This is a really hard topic. I started looking. I'm like, oh, how hard could this be? But there's so much stuff out there. It was crazy. So, needless to say, this was a good moment to talk to a librarian who could patiently go through systematically all the different tricks that they have in their bag. Because I started making a video for you. And I was like, all you do is this. And it was just like garbage. And I couldn't find anything that was good. So I turned off that video. And I've done a little bit of research. And this is how best to get a hold of something. What this is it's atypical. So this means your results won't be, it won't take you this long to do this under normal searches. But one of the biggest problems we've got is AIDS, or the prefix of AIDS is aid, is a very, very common word. And so you get like foreign aid, you get band aids, you get lemonade if it's spelled that way, and you get AIDS. And then when you're looking at the history of AIDS and the context and what the most important things are when we look back at the epidemic, which is still continuing, there's like, oh, how do you sort through and get like big picture stuff? And so it took me a while to get through this. So I'm glad you reached out to me. It was worth my while. It was really fun. And so I'm convinced that I have something, but you get to tell me. So let's go back and forth and let me know if I'm close on what you were looking for or if it's something else you were interested in, because that's my job and I love it. Okay, so typically what you would do is you type in AIDS, HIV. You throw in all those keywords. You did it, education, but we wanted maybe let's do history, AIDS, HIV, history in the main catalog search, and we get thousands of things, 392,000 things. So what I did is I was like, this is this is terrible. And I thought, oh, I'll just go into books. Books will have it narrowed down. It didn't. It was awful. And so what I did is for many of the items that exist in the library catalog, books in particular, we have librarians of Congress who officially say these are the subjects, and these subjects are the most important thing about this particular book. For example, this one right here, it says book, AIDS in Europe, New Challenges for Social Sciences. That one actually maybe is good because it's the Journal of the American Medical Association. But I'm going to click on this one book just to show you what I found. Is I looked for, instead of looking for things, I looked for the things that describe them, those subject headings, the keywords. And what I found, this one only has one subject, which is usually they have more than one. But for everything that I was looking for that was what I wanted, had subjects AIDS, disease. So how do we get to books that are just that? And then how do we add things that we're interested in? Let me show you. We'll go to the library homepage, and then we're going to go to the advanced search of the catalog, which is right here. This, by the way, works for articles too, so we can look for that. Awkward pause. Okay. So you remember that AIDS with disease in a parentheses was in that subject, and we can search in the advanced settings of the catalog. We can search for subject. So let's do that one. I have it up here. Space disease. And so what it's telling the catalog is I want you to find everything that used it in that specific subject field to have AIDS disease. And this will get rid of like foreign aid and hearing aids and things like that. Next, in any field, which this is just what that main catalog search does, so it looks for every field, we can type in the things that we're interested in. So you could do college or history, or we could even do marketing. Oh, maybe we should do campaign. Well, you get the idea. You could do marketing or health campaign or something like that. But let's look up college or history, or we could do or education. So what this means is I'm looking up those subject, we talked about that specific subject, and then after it pulls everything in from that specific subject, and we'll omit some things accidentally that didn't have that as a good subject, that's okay. And then we're saying, out of that pile of stuff that we brought back, give me everything that has either college or history or education. Da-na-na-na, fingers crossed. Okay, don't be put off by 109,000 search results. When I saw that, I was like, oh. So here we're starting to see some of the things that maybe what you were looking for. So here's activities for primary school students. Ooh, that's good. That's not the population you were looking for, but that gives us more words to search for. So health activities. But there's some ways to sort it. Whoops. So one of the sorting options I would encourage you to use is date newest. Since this epidemic happened in the 1980s, it might have been that there's a lot of stuff that's wildly out of date, especially since the big research revolution of the internet happened. So here we have articles that aren't necessarily what we're looking for, right? So let's go into, at this search, let's look in books specifically. Now I'm not sure if you're allowed to use books or if it has to be scholarly articles, but so for what it's worth, if you're looking for credibility with that particular class that you're looking for, make sure that it's something from like a university press, and that will be considered scholarly, although this is something that you should talk with your instructor. But when you narrow down to books, books are published instead of like a scholarly article where they're going out and doing an experiment and then giving you the results. Books are looking at all of the research that's been going on, and they're kind of giving you the greatest hits in that book form. Many of these are going to be full text online. But let's see, so this one looks pretty good because it has a history of AIDS. Here's a particular population, the African American struggle against AIDS. And again, maybe I said this in the other video, if you look at the table of contents, it might give you clues to like what the main subjects are. So that's one way to go. To get to these books, how do you get to those? Some of them, you have to come in physically to the library, and anyone can help you. When you come into the library, just say, hey, I'm looking for this particular book, and they can tell you how to get there. But if you wanted to look at one in particular that was an ebook, and I would encourage you, go down through the list and see what you think of those. But you just click on this link to online resource, and it might prompt you for your unit or something like that. You might have to do the duo authentication with your phone. Oh, no, this isn't one that we have. Oh, fiddlesticks. If it turns out to be something where you can't get it in like 30 seconds of trying, email the citation to me and I will track it down for you. And if I have to, I'll buy it for you. That's one of my limited librarian powers. Another thing that you can do, let's go back. Let's go back one where we're not sorting by books, where we had that 109,000 search results. Am I going to be allowed to go back there? Oh, there's 1,300 results. I want to go back to the 109, where we have articles. Yeah, okay. I'm going to move my head. So some of the other sorting results are going to be useful for you in the catalog. If you have to have peer-reviewed articles, you can narrow down by that. Let's go down that rabbit hole. I just want to see peer-reviewed journals. And I'm going to move my head again. Maybe I should move my head off the screen. So when it's only peer-reviewed journals, here you can see that it's a lot more specific language. So they might be doing an experiment or something like that. Or they might be analyzing medical history or things like that. So how do you narrow down through those First of all, you want just articles, not reviews or conference proceedings, but it looks like that's just a drop in the bucket. But what you can do is go down to this subject right here, and these are all those subjects again, like that AIDS disease, but it's organized by how many times it showed up in the article. What you can do is you can go down through all of these different subjects, and you could look through, here's like public health, where that education would occur. And then it's going to sort them again, and you can go into the subjects again, and let's see if we can find that particular population of college. Subject, oh, humans. That narrows it down. Middle-aged, adolescent, or, moving my head again, or you can go back up into the keywords, add another line, and here we have college or history, but on this one you could put in whatever you were looking for, public policy or specific campaigns or something like that. When you're digging around, try different keywords that you're throwing in there to see what you're looking for, and let me know how it goes. This is something where I'm just kind of throwing you in on the deep end, and I expect that you might find some stuff, but you might get kind of stuck. So as you come into different ideas that you want to explore further, let me know, and I can help you dig around. But this might be a good place to start. But have a good weekend if I don't hear from you before then.